I'm so dang peeved that we aren't really doing Halloween.
Maybe we should do an after-school special instead. We can all get addicted to drugs and play with a downed power line.
Everybody, it's good to see y'all again. How you doing today?
Hi, Grant. Thanks for having us back. I like your shirt, Grant.
We're matching over here. I didn't even notice that initially. Sean, you didn't get the memo?
I didn't get the memo.
Sean.
I'm right next. You know what? I might have to change for this interview.
Right. Yeah. No, I felt that this would be a nice little fall color for our Halloween special here. And I love that we're getting a Halloween part 2 special because the first one was such a fun ride from start to finish. And Sean, I'll start with you, and then Mary, what was it like? By the way, love the shirt change. What was it like when you saw the script for what this special would be?
Oh, I loved it. I didn't know that we were going to do a sequel to a holiday special, and but I just thought it was super smart because they created so much ideas and lore in that first one, and it was just really clever, everything that they did, and it was cracking me up. And then introducing another holiday to duel with this holiday was just a really fun idea. And Halloween just has so many opportunities. Looking at all the backgrounds of each shot, there's a bunch of different puns, and so it was. I'm very happy that we did this sequel.
Me too. Yeah, the Great Pumpkin. You can't go wrong bringing that back.
Such a wild thing to see.
Yeah, and I mean, come on, you got to explode as many pumpkins as you possibly can while you have the chance. So I think that's pretty smart. Keep exploding those pumpkins.
If we get a trilogy of Halloween specials, I will certainly be very happy with what we get. But so Mary, I'd actually like to turn to you next because I didn't really get the chance to talk with you for season 5, and so I'd love to hear about. I'd love seeing Jessie get a bigger arc this season, especially as we learn she's sort of above Yumulek in the feeding chain of this team. What was it like getting to dive into that side of her this past season?
You record each of these episodes and then you're like, oh, I should have done this, this, and this. But, I hope it all came across how they wanted it to come across. But, I never realized I'm was the main character of a show until after the show happened, after we recorded it. And I was like, oh, wait a second, that was a lot of lines. I should have probably given him more takes. But, I love it so much. This show is so silly that I'm just honored, and it's so fun and ridiculous and also heartwarming that I'm just honored to have a part in it. And I'm honored that they know my personality and they know where I'm from, and they don't make me hide it. They go with it. And I think that's really great writers and great bosses too.
I love all the material they've been able to give you both these past 5 seasons, and I can't wait for season 6 coming up soon as well. Sean, I'll turn to you next and dive into the Halloween special. So as we see, you transform into something. I'm trying to be careful with my spoilers here, but how do you sort of get into the mentality of what it is you transform into, especially when you're not working off of actual animation?
You're allowed to say it, Grant. You can say it.
Oh, I can. Okay, so you turn into.
Just said we could say it.
You turn into essentially a slutty cat. And I'd love to hear what it's like trying to get into that mentality, for recording.
It was crazy, Grant. I mean, it was me and Sydney, the director, and she was like, okay, we're really going to try and get this. We want to get this sexy cat going. And so it was first to try and figure out what the voice would be like. And so I was thinking I was trying to just making it sultry or something. And then in my head I was singing maybe like some Britney Spears or something. But then Sydney's like, Valley Girl, but now make it slightly more sorority. And she was saying all these terms and they were meaning different things. And I had to keep going back because it was too sexy cat or too it was too uncomfortable, really. The
Too sexy.
the boss was like, "Well, that's creeping me out. I'm uneasy watching this." So then they toned it down. So it was a very unique experience for me. I've never tried to play that type of character before.
I wish to God I could have been there in that room, Sean. I would have had so much fun watching you do that.
I don't know, Mary. It was bizarre in that room.
I can only imagine. I mean, just watching it was kind of like, whoa, what's going on here?
Exactly. Oh man.
But it sounds like it was a lot of fun nonetheless, though. So I'm glad you got that. And then Mary, you transform into a werewolf, but I love that, like Jessie, you know, even though she doesn't fully take power of it, she's just kind of like, oh geez, still with her personality. And you know, I'd love to hear about finding that sort of balance between Jessie's good nature and then becoming, you know, this kind of monster.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Jessie was just excited to be a part of Halloween in a new way. My favorite part where she shaves her legs. She shaves, and then instantly it pops back. So she tried to be kind of like a sexy werewolf, I think, for a moment, and then you know you can't. You got to commit, and then all that hair. Shame on those writers for making me go all through shaving my legs, and then the hair pops right back. But I think she's along for the ride, and she's gonna make the most of everything. So I liked being a werewolf.
I love that. And I just love the way the show keeps transforming you guys here and there. It gets all the more creative every time. So since we are talking about a Halloween special, though, and I am a horror genre fan, I'd love to hear from you both. What are some of your favorite horror movies or just spooky type watches for around the Halloween season?
Sean's got a bunch.
Well, recently I've been watching a lot of horror, like the past couple months even, but right now watching some Harry Potter, which that second one was kind of spooky, but no, I also watched that Hereditary, and that was freaky. Then I watched I'm gonna watch one of the Halloween movies, and then I watched Scream for the first time.
Oh my God.
I'm just bouncing around to all these first time viewings. I don't really repeat watch like for Christmas I do, but not for Halloween. Do you, Mary?
I can't watch scary movies because I won't sleep for like 2 days. I can't even read a scary book. I can't even read a Stephen King book. When I was a little kid, I remember my siblings were much older. They made me watch all the Stephen King stuff. The Shining, and I was so terrified I could never watch them again. I could never watch scary movies. I watched a old Nightmare on Elm Street when I was like, oh god, that was the thing. Was it like slumber parties when we were tiny? We shouldn't have been able to watch these movies. Nightmare on Elm Street, that scared I never could watch anything after that. That was probably the last scary movie I watched because I just can't. I like it when I go on Antiques Roadshow and there's like a scary antique. And you're like, whoa, I didn't know that would cost that much. And then that's as scary as I want to go. Honest to goodness, I can't sleep when I watch them.
I don't blame you. I remember as a kid seeing the Nightmare on Elm Street trailer, and with the Johnny Depp death in it, I was like, I couldn't sleep for a few days because I was like, just that alone, I was like, I can't even lay down comfortably. It's so scary. So I don't blame you.
She's in the bathtub, and he comes through the bathtub with these razor hands, and he sucks her down through the bathtub.
Yeah, that's not a fun time.
It's horrible. I'll probably get sued for this, but I don't care. Traumatize me the rest of my life. That's my two
Well, I see
cents.
I'm almost out of time, so I did also want to ask you really quickly, Sean. You one of your first breakout roles was the Goldbergs. It ended a few years ago, but I'm curious if you've ever had thoughts about, a revival in the future, since so many of these shows do come back after, a little while of being off the air.
Oh, I certainly would. Like I would hop back in a heartbeat. I don't know when it would happen or if there would be any talks about it, but I like they always had some cool Halloween stuff, and yeah, I don't know. I certainly would be back. I'd love to go back to the 80s. I kind of miss it because it's one of the greatest times, and so I don't know. Well, I'm definitely up for it, but no, not sure when it would happen, but I'm game.
No, I don't want Sean to do a remake of the Goldbergs. I have like 3 scripts I want Sean to be in. I just haven't had time to tell him. He's not allowed.
After my projects with Mary, then I'll be back for the Goldbergs.
Yeah, once he does my scripts, he's open, but it's gonna take a while.
You know what? Deal. Between your projects and between Solar's, I will happily wait as long as needed, because that just sounds like dream partnership. Well, it was so great seeing you all again, and to talk about, keep talking about this show. You know how much I love it, and I'll keep the word alive. So I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I hope everybody can't wait to talk for season 6 whenever that comes about.
Thank you, Grant.
The witch said spooky stuff would happen if you resisted your Halloweenness.
Sorry, are we just going to ignore the fact that you barfed up a bat?